Not a whole lot. TLO still kind of slowly pushing across the map with this force on this creep highway. DD moving in again, but nice spore crawler placement by TLO. He moved it over from the middle here to cover that entrance. Meantime, this base for TLO has finished now. And back at the base of DDE, no signs of expanding quite yet that I can see. Looks like he actually did take down the rocks here, so he is going to push out straight across the middle. And this could actually be very, very bad for TLO, as all his units are still in the center of the map on this creep highway. DD moving across, and with this number of tanks and Marines, he should be able to end Banshees as well. He should be able to take these rocks down very, very quickly. TLO does spot it, though, with this Overlord. And TLO is actually just going to go for the counterattack, slamming those Zerglings into the wall of barracks that DDE has set up there. The supply depot getting a little bit low, but Bunker is going to force TLO back as well. DDE working on these rocks. The rocks do go down, and DDE is not going to waste any time at all. He is going to move in right now. Tanks have finished with siege mode. A couple tanks being sieged up defensively. Spore Crawler will go down very, very quickly. Medevac getting a little bit low there, but looks like DDE will be able to cause some significant damage to the base of TLO. Wow, TLO may lose his entire main base. Reinforcements coming in just now for TLO. That's a lot of siege tanks set up for DDE, though. Marines being pulled back. DDE knows what's coming here. TLO trying to find a good position to work in on the entrenched forces of his Terran opponent. Looks like TLO is moving in with all those Hydras. Hydras are going to do very, very well against tanks. Nice fungal growth going down on the bio units of DDE. But DDE still has enough Marines that he can push back the forces of TLO. And TLO actually looking to be in a lot of trouble right now. The unit count has gotten very, very low. DDE taking a little bit of splash damage from the tank fire as those Broodlords move in on the Marines so quickly. But the lair for TLO does go down right now. Looks like TLO moving in again, even bringing in some Overlords. He's going to drop a single Hydralisk apparently somewhere on that army. And DDE may be forced back here. That's a lot of units coming to reinforce, though. Some Marines and Marauders coming in, taking out quite a few Overlords. TLO is not really in danger of being supply blocked right now. DDE taking the opportunity to move in his tanks as best he can. So DDE again taking a good entrenched position. I almost think he should start to think about pulling back. He has taken out the lair, so there really is not a huge reason to push this quite as bit. He could fall back and expand, but DDE deciding to be aggressive, and when you do have your opponent on the run a little bit, nothing wrong with that. Overseer going in to do a little bit of spotting there. In the meantime, TLO expanding here and here as well. It looks like he is getting his new lair at this third expansion, and DDE moving out there as well. A few units trying to come in for TLO, moving in on those Bioforces, causing the tanks to fire on them. Nice job by TLO, using those cheap Zerglings to do some damage against the bio of DDE. That Hydralisk Den is going to go down. Meantime, DDE intelligently expanding right here behind his push. If he can hold this location, he will be able to expand there. He may even want to take this base, although there's not a whole lot of minerals yet. Infestation Pit slowly dying because it is off the creep now. Up at the main base of TLO, spawning pool even going down. TLO is going to need to remake that. And TLO right now in a really big predicament, I would say, although expanding across the map. DDE definitely needs to keep an eye on that tank drop going down at this base, but it will be taken care of by the Infestors and Hydralisks. In the meantime, DDE moving up on the cliff. He's going to start shelling the natural of TLO now. And TLO, again, in a very tough position. He's going to need to pull all his drones off mining right now. If we look at the income tab, TLO is still keeping up because of those other bases. But the Harvester count has started to swing in DDE's favor with that third base going up right now. TLO is going to need to make something happen to stay in this game. This expansion looks like it's probably going to go down quite quickly. Meantime, expansions going up for TLO again all over the map here. So TLO basically just moving. The swarm has transitioned. An Ultralisk Cavern actually going up for TLO as he does now have the hive. DDE moving out and finishing taking out this natural base. So DDE slowly pushing through the bases of TLO, and he is actually going to take this command center. There are a couple minerals here yet, I guess. In the meantime, some medevacs flying around. They're going to try to cause as much trouble as they can for these remaining expansions for TLO. Nice fungal going down on those medevacs, actually. DDE forced to drop off before those medevacs go down. One medevac dies with a lot of units still inside it, but the Marines on the cliff stemming and taking out some of the units. Queen getting a little bit low, but I think TLO is going to be just fine with these Hydralisks. He does have an Overlord right here that will be able to spot that cliff. Medevac is not going to be able to keep these Marines healed. And this medevac actually goes down as well, so TLO losing, not TLO, DDE actually losing his drop force at that point, but still looking very, very beefy here. If we go to the army tab, though, TLO is still fairly close. I mean, DDE is at 170, TLO at 130, so TLO a bit behind, but not quite as far as behind as you would expect him to be in this particular case. Medivacs moving out across the field with nothing inside of them. Kind of curious what the motivation is for that, possibly thinking of faking a drop, but he's going to need to be very careful. Nice fungal going down. TLO is not going to let that pass. Hydralisks are going to take down all these Medivacs, it looks like. DDE with a little bit of a blunder there, losing about 5 Medivacs. That one gets away just barely, and now DDE is going to try to push out this ramp, and here's going to be the dangerous part of this push, as he is now moving into open ground again, where the Zerg units can get a little bit of a flank if they so desire. In the meantime, TLO continuing to take bases, 2 more going up here and here at the 7 o'clock expansion, no, the 5 and the 4 o'clock expansions, my bad. Scan going down. DDE wants to take out as many creep tumors as he possibly can. Meantime, we do have some Ultralisks on the way, a couple already out on the field. Chitinous plating is almost finished for TLO. Burrow being researched as well. So TLO still in this game. It looks like he is going to push out right now with these Ultralisks and Infestors. Nice fungal going down on the Marines. Ultralisk will come in and clean those up very, very quickly. And the Ultras coming in, the fungal growth fats, softening up the units of DDE. And it looks like TLO has broken this campaign, or contain rather. Although this Ultra will go down, these tanks taking some fire from their own units. In the meantime, DDE moving out with a fairly decent force of Marines, Marauders, and a couple tanks. He's going to try to take out this base as best he can. Some Hellions even trying to work in here as well. Cloak Banshees coming in, they're going to fire on those Ultralisks, forcing the back. DDE moving in with Marines and tanks as well. TLO again on the run here as DDE looks very, very strong. DLO, they will combine to become the greatest half Terran, half Zerg player ever made. And looks like TLO is going to force back DDE as well. This Cloak Banshee still firing at the units. Queen might go down there. Queen getting very, very low, and that Queen does die. 2 more Ultras popping out of the possibly small eggs. Some SCVs being paid. Looks like there was an Ultralisk drop actually at the base up here for DDE, and TLO was able to take out most of the gatherers there. DDE having to retreat with a lot of those. And TLO, actually with some harassment, is starting to pull back into this game. Continuing to expand across the map. This force is probably going to be able to be taken out very quickly by TLO. And DDE had such a strong grip on this game, but it is now loosening. TLO starting to come back amazingly with some Ultralisks. And some other units as well. Oh, DDE. I forgot upgrades. Oh, no way. Is there even an engineering bay anywhere? Oh my. Okay, there is not. Whoops. And TLO actually knows it. So DDE with a huge blunder there, forgetting upgrades. Maybe a little bit nervous to play a player like TLO, but that does happen. Yeah, with the upgrades too, that would make a huge difference in this game. DDE doing his best he can, but TLO is definitely holding on to this game. I wouldn't say DDE is out quite yet, although he is pretty much mined out and more or less has nowhere to expand. Some mules mining the last minerals out of this space, but right now DDE just so low right now on resources. If we go to the income tab, 1300 as opposed to the 2300 of TLO, this command center is not going to have an easy time landing on this hatchery. Queen is going to say, get away there, you can't land on my hatchery. That is impossible, including some Banshees going down here as well. This hatchery actually getting very, very low. But again, DDE basically has all the units he's going to have this game. Trying to expand here. If he can take out this base and the creep proceeds fast enough, he might be able to get back in this game as well. I don't think TLO is really saying that. And DDE actually GG's and leaves the game even after taking out this hatchery. A little bit of an interesting GG there, but I think he just kind of anticipated that he wasn't going to be able to stay in the game. Large amounts of SCVs going down there. So DDE giving TLO a little bit of a run for his money, but TLO just playing really, really solid as Zerg, able to come back and win this game on Shakuras Plateau. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see some live casting that I'll do, I cast live for the Rush Network. You can check us out at www.therushnetwork.com. I usually do my live casting on Sundays and Mondays. So definitely check us out for that. We've actually got great events going all week, including the Alert Cup Open right now. Lots of awesome players in that. Hey Pro is still in. He actually just defeated QXC. But anyway, I digress. This is the end of this cast. Hope to see you guys on the next cast, and keep playing StarCraft 2, guys.